Hello, welcome to the Tour of Pleasure here in the Enchanted Kingdom of Hermione. I'm your host, Zip Gun, sitting here watching videos, tsunamis, just hanging out really, listening to some new stuff. I've got some new stuff from my old pal, well, it's not that new now, some of it. From my old friend Iggy Pop. It's just taken me a while to pick it up. And I figured new Iggy product would make a good short video. And so, with all the new Iggy product that keeps, you'd think the guy would just stop having stuff be unearthed. But I've been listening in the car a lot to Georgia Peaches, which is the live addendum to the most recent incarnation of Raw Power. And it's a hoot. It's not the sharpest recording, and it's not the sharpest performance, but it's a wonderful document of what must have been a memorable evening. And we got a couple more of those. These have just sort of come out. This came out, I don't know how long ago now, live at Goose Lake. Now this, I think I've talked about this in a previous video, but this was the final gig of the Dave Alexander era. Reason being that Dave showed up to this gig absolutely fucked up out of his mind on drugs. And if you can, now how fucked up was he? Well, he couldn't play the bass lines to the Funhouse album by the Stooges. Now, I don't know about you, but I could teach my dog to play the bass lines to Funhouse. So to be so stoned that the guy who almost certainly wrote the bass line to Dirt couldn't fucking play it, that's pretty high. The funny thing about this is pretty cheap. I think it was $10, which is fine. I'll pay $10 for this. And the sound is not bad. The sound is okay. Somebody ran a board mix from this, whatever this festival was. It was some kind of gigantic festival. And what you basically have is the Funhouse album, minus the bass lines. Every once in a while he kind of wakes up and comes in. But there's like, I think it's loose, it's just sort of nothing. For me, recordings of this band, of this era, always pivot around the ending, because they would just do this kind of freak out jazz thing, which I'm actually very fond of. And on this one, it's okay. I think they were kind of pressed for time because there was a whole lot of bands. Anyway, this immediately upon the ending of this show, Iggy went over and fired Dave, and Dave disappeared, and nobody ever saw him again. And this sort of proved to be a bit of a quandary because they had some gigs booked. So, in a matter of no time, does this actually say when the date was or what? They had found a new bass player who was actually their roadie, Zeke Zettner, and they had added a second guitar player, a guy named Billy Cheatham. I haven't actually compared these. Let's see. They both do Down on the Street. They both do Loose. They both do TVI. They both do Dirt. They both do 1970. They both do Funhouse. And then the one here is called LA Blues. This one says, have some fun / my dream is dead. Now, this is also an excellent performance. They play really well on this. Rhino, but the Wounded Bird and Rhino put this out. And I seem to remember Wounded Bird has ends with all the Warner catalog. But the performances on this are great. Now, can you tell Billy Cheatham's there? Not really. Is Zeke Zettner a better bass player on this than Dave Alexander is on this? Yeah, he is. He's not bad. For me, the end is why I bought this. And the end is amazing. It's Steve McKay on saxophone, often forgotten in the mix. So this was a 6-piece. There's an amazing story that I have in my autographed, look at this, autographed copy of I Need More, which is Iggy's sort of autobiography from way back when. I think he did about the time of Zombie Birdhouse. And he mentions going into the office at Elektra and going to Bill Harvey and saying, Bill, we need $400 for cocaine because we got 4 nights in a row and I can't do it without the cocaine. And Bill's like, no, we can't do that. Bill, you got to do it. I mean, and he got $400 out of Bill. I forget how. And that is reflected in the performances here. They are certainly sprightly. And this was about this. Actually, I ordered this on a Sunday through the interweb, and it was here on Tuesday in Canada, Vancouver Island, and God knows where it came from. And it was $12 all in. So, I hate buying online if there's a record store in the neighborhood, but sometimes you just can't beat it. And then the other thing I got, since we're dealing with new Iggy product, I don't even know how new this is. I haven't even looked that hard at it. But the Empress found me this for my birthday, When Wrong Feels Right. And this is basically a coffee table book that isn't big enough to be a coffee table book of essentially just Iggy lyrics, I think. And woohoo! There you go. Fry your brain with that. What year does this come out? Does it say? It does, in fact, feel. Does it really have all his lyrics? Each year seems to have there's some great photos in this. Photo of the very first photo of the Stooges when Iggy had his weird, silly haircut. And he had some bad haircut there, Jim. Yeah, so I think this has almost every song lyric in it. So it's a lyric book, basically. And each era, I believe, has a little heading where it's just like, and there's the odd thing. Chris Stein does a little page quote in here. But this is kind of a neat thing to have if you're a fan. I'm a fan. And she found this, I think she found this in the thrift store. So we didn't pay $50 Canadian for it, but it's very slick. It's very, one of those books that you buy because it just feels good to have it in your hands. And there's some great, silly, a lot of photos you've never seen of the Igster. So there you go. New Iggy product this is 2022. And the man is still gracing us with things to amuse ourselves with, so there you go. He's still alive. The only original Stooge still left. Blows my mind. Anyway, you could do worse than buying any of these things if you're a big Iggy fan, so there you go. And the price was right for all of them. Great. Anyway, that's it. Thanks a lot. We'll get back at you later with other stuff. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and the bell notification, what you're thingy-me-diggy. And we'll see what else we got to talk about later. We're sort of scrambling around here, doing projects. Take care of each other, and we'll talk to you later.